just gone live.
There we go. Right, my microphone should be unmuted now.
Okay, yep, mine should be okay too, as I did all of the settings earlier. So let me just post this if I can actually find the right channel. It's at times like this where I have to stop myself swearing.
So we've got a full lobby now, all the drivers are in. We are ready to go in the next minute or so. Before we get into quali, what are you expecting?
From what we've seen so far in this championship, a few tight battles throughout quali, and then during the race, my money is going to be on Warrior Huntsman and Paranoid.
Yeah, Paranoid was going to be one of my tips. He's shown some good pace throughout the season, but I think you can't write off people like Guitar Maniac. Evil Prime. They've got some serious pace. But this is one of them tracks where anything can happen, so it'll be nice to see. Nice to see how it goes.
Yeah, literally that. Anything can happen. Like Dan Friday coming back from P13, was it, to winning?
P15, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
somewhere in the lower end of the midfield
yeah. He
to the
crashed
race
out of
win.
Q2, didn't he?
Q1, I think it was. Yeah, it was Q1 he crashed out of.
Was it? Oh, right. Yeah, but like I say, anything can happen. As Collins just said, Huntsman qualified top 10 of Tier 1. You know, it's different. I wouldn't expect him to dominate this, if I'm honest. But like I say, you never know. Maybe his qualifying, his one lap pace might be up there, but this game's not about one lap pace. This game is all about race setups and race pace.
Yeah, he does have savage one lap pace. I know that because he is one of the very few CDR guys that are actually quicker than me around here in TT. And it's not just by a little bit either. It's by like 3/10.
Yeah.
So it's a considerable amount. So his one lap pace is there for the taking. But if he can maintain it over the entire 36 laps, given the weather playing into his hands.
Oh, that's a point as well. Weather could be all over the show here. That'd make it
Yeah.
interesting as well. You know, we were lucky in Championship 2 Friday to have a full dry weekend. I don't know how Tier 1 was. I believe that was all dry as well.
Yeah. I had a little squeal of excitement when I loaded into the lobby and it was come up dry.
I think anybody who saw that did as well.
Because I hadn't practiced in the wet whatsoever, so I was just happy that it was going to be dry. So Q1 has started. Do you want to flick up the tyre allocation? Because even though in Q1, in recent weeks, we have seen people use the medium tyre here just in order to get a lap in and see what they're going to be running.
We got our first car out on track. It's Steve Otto, and he's gone straight into the pit wall. I don't think he's took the limiter off yet.
It's an awkward pit lane exit here, isn't it, though?
Yeah, you've got to be ready for it, and it didn't look like he was. I see Osso's commented as well. Good evening, mate. Good to see you.
Yeah, back where we rightfully belong, may I add. After a couple of weeks of technical issues, Chloe has solved the issue and managed to get us back to our rightful home of the official CDR YouTube channel, and not our personal ones, fortunately. So shout out to Chloe for solving that issue. And she's also managed to solve on how to get 2 streams up at once. So Championship 1 and 2 on a Friday night will be streamed simultaneously from the same YouTube.
Yeah, I think YouTube's been a bit hit and miss over the past couple of weeks. Obviously, I were tuning in last week, watching you bouncing between different streams. It looks like we might have already had someone crash out.
Yeah, I'm just still on board with Steve Otto.
Yeah, it was Richie D. It looked like he'd gone off track. He's back on. He's still on. It looks like he might have some damage though.
Yeah, Steve Otto has done his outlap and then come straight back into the pits.
I wonder if he damaged his wing after hitting the pit wall on exit.
Yeah, being in the Williams, literally as he leaves the pit, that's the pit lane limited line. So I think he was expecting it to carry him round a little bit longer.
Yeah, as I say, it catches quite a few people out. Well, Richie D's carried on in his Williams, even though it was flagging up that he had some damage, but now that seems to have disappeared. He gets the rear a bit loose into turn 3 though.
Four-wheel drift through there, under grass, going up the hill. It's not the quickest way through there, but Purple first sector being the first man to set a sector one time. Now, where he is now, if you're on that curb in the braking zone, it's just going to spin you out. It's not worth even touching it.
Yeah, he's just gone past the Ferrari who's binned it through though. Which I believe have been Ninja.
CDR guys.
Yeah, because Hound's still in the pits at the moment.
Aidan Gray with a 1:12.9 to start the session. So sorry to contradict myself. I thought Richie D was the first man through each sector. I do stand corrected.
No, I flipped back a couple of cars because I saw someone lost it through sector 2. Richie D 1:11.8. Oh, Mage with a 1:11.5 straight after.
Some decent first round of laps. There's no going to be jumping into the car and going and doing a 1:10 like there was on Friday.
No, it's a difficult track, and it all depends on the amount of practice you've got as well. It's a hard one to get right. I found myself, I could hook up sector 1, but that would mean I'd compromise sector 2 or 3. I couldn't get all 3 right in one lap. I've just jumped on board with King of the Hills. He's just started his flying lap now.
King of the Hills is just at a flying lap. He's just done a 1:11.682.
Yes, you're right. I was already on board.
Quicker. Evil Prime's just coming up to the chicane at the end of the DRS straight, so beginning of sector 3, and he's set 2 purple sectors already.
He has already set the fastest lap of this session so far as well.
That is Bayman getting disqualified for blocking in the pit lane.
We saw that on Friday as well. Maybe another person who wasn't ready.
Let's take a look to see if there's anyone in the pits. Charlie just getting clear out the way.
Paranoid, a 1:10.8.
I did say Paranoid's got some pace around here.
Yeah. Steve Otto jumps up to P6 with a 1:11.7. That's not a bad time. Not a bad time.
Seeing as his outlap wasn't the best, he was all over the track. That's a very respectable time for a first lap in Q1.
Chloe just commented, Bartman finished P5 in C2 on Friday night, so I wonder how he'll fare out tonight. That is a good point. He had a brilliant race, kept himself clean, out of the trouble on Friday, so picked up a brilliant 5th place.
Fully deserved too. Held his own against some arguably quicker guys. As Gainful just weaving along that straight, and I'm not sure if he just impeded a hot lap.
I'm on board with Kane Lowry at the moment. He's just started a hot lap. Bayman's also commented again saying he was ready to go, but there were cars coming around the corner. He backed off. It is a shame, you know. This pit lane is a tricky pit lane exit.
Yeah, but they seem to they have seemed to have fixed the pit lane exit this year.
Oh, Kane Lowry were wide there, but he didn't invalidate.
Nope, managed to hold it. Used all of the track plus some there, but they have managed to fix the pit lane exit on this year's game. Last year, it put you out on the apex of turn, like the exit of turn 1, as you're going into turn 2.
Yeah.
And this year, they've actually followed the line around and popped you out on the right-hand side of the track instead of on the left.
We've got Harry who's joined the stream as well and commented. Hello, mate. How are you doing?
Harry back in CDR full-time now. Got a decent result in his first race back in a full-time seat Friday. What was it, P6 or P7 he finished?
Yeah, I believe it was. Kane Lowry's just put in a P7 time as well, a 1:11.5 on his first flying lap. Let's go for someone who's not set a lap time yet. Osso's out there now.
I did give myself to CDR Hound earlier, who has got no front wing.
This is
Sorry,
the thing,
Steve,
you know. This game, I've noticed myself. I used to, on the last one, I used to jump in and steal other people's setups and give it a go. And I've found that this time, this game's not as easy to copy someone else's setup. It doesn't suit my driving style anymore, so I'm having to learn how to tinker with them. There's Warrior Huntsman's, that's a 1:10.5. Well, there you know. That's what we're saying, that one lap pace. But also has just set a purple sector 2.
Yeah. The two men that I said were a danger to quali
Both
are
up
already
there.
P1 and 2.
Both up there.
But King of the Hills, doing relatively well in that McLaren. Not really seen a lot of him this season. He's kind of flying under the radar like he did last season for the vast majority of, like, towards the end. Just keeps his nose clean and gets on with the job. Doesn't really get involved in too many incidents. Let's take a look.
Yeah, also put it to P8 with a 1:11.4. Just to clarify as well, Harry said he finished P4 on Friday. Even more of a respectable finish.
Very well done there.
We'll follow Ninja as he starts a fast lap as well.
Yep, as Hound's just leaving the pits. Ninja's got a decent line through turn 3. A little bit slow on the exit, but the general line through there was pretty clean. As he's just on a purple sector 1, so just completely ignore me.
Just to clarify as well for Adam, Charlie is racing tonight. He's not tier 1. He did race tier 1 on Friday, but he's a reserve for the league, so he'll race wherever he's needed. You know, the guy's gone through a lot recently, and he's not had as much practice as a lot of people have, so he fills in where he's needed to get some practice in.
Yeah, pretty much. And having someone with Charlie's level of experience in the field, not only just for setup advice and general advice, but going wheel to wheel with someone with as much experience as Charlie does come in handy, even if it's only for a few corners. Just having someone that will know when to push and when to back out.
The guy is experienced, definitely.
Yeah, and having that wheel-to-wheel experience is really useful. As Guitar Maniac's just on a 1:10.3.
Yeah, I miss saying it, but Ninja put it. It was P4, it's now P5 with a 1:11.1. Solid lap. I've jumped on board with Steve as he's on his flying lap now. The only guy not to set a time so far. Done a purple sector 1 as well.
Is this genuine purple sector 1s, or is it just personal best sector 1s?
Well, he's not set a time yet, so I'd expect it to be a genuine purple.
Because sometimes it is like your PB through that sector as to why it goes purple. If it gets a purple sector
But
2...
he's not done the sector 2, so it must have been genuine.
Yeah. See how he gets on in this final couple of corners.
You got some empty track in front of him, which is good. Clean lap, to be honest.
Open the DRS.
Ferrari, the other Ferrari's binned it. Is that Ninja?
Yeah. Yep. As he just puts it straight behind his teammate.
Yeah, that's not bad. Not bad. .014 behind his teammate. That's a solid lap. Solid lap. We've got one guy, Richie, who's been out on mediums, which is not something I'd expect to see in Q1, if I'm honest.
I did mention this at the start of the program, saying that
yeah,
a few have done a lap on mediums. I think it's just essentially a banker lap, just to scrub them in.
Yeah, it should make the first lap in Q2 quicker on them, but I'll follow Aidan Gray for this because he's the first man out on an out lap, going for a second run at it. Currently P16, so he's in the drop zone at the moment.
Yeah. Maged is actually turn 3. Aidan Gray's coming down to turn, what is it, 6 or 7?
No.
Complete.
3,
Yeah.
4, 5, 6. Yeah, he's coming through last corners now, 13, 14.
Yeah. This track is so weird, the fact that you can't really follow where the corners are because there's that many like dips and crevices.
Yeah, I've seen a yellow flag at turn 3.
That
looks like a car's binned it there. It's a tricky corner. Like if you get turn 2 slightly wrong, it completely compromises turn 3, and can throw you straight into the wall, which we did see in quali of the or was it free practice? Sorry, Carlos Sainz did the exact same. Compromised his line through turn 2, which threw him in the wall at turn 3.
Yeah, touch that curb on the right hand side, going into turn 2. As you come up over the crest, there's a little curb that sticks out on the right hand side. If you clip that, you are in a one-way. You've got a one-way ride to no front wing.
Purple sector 2 by Aidan Gray there. It looks like he's on for a good time here. Should definitely see him through if he can hold it through these last corners. He's invalidated. He's invalidated.
He's still. I was gonna say if he wanted to drop in the pits now, he would have had enough time. But I think he's got enough fuel on board to go again. So Mage will be the next man across the line, I believe. As Mage is just on a purple sector 2.
Oh, and Aidan Gray's he's binned it. Turn 2. He's spun. The exit of turn 2 into turn 3.
Did he clip that curb I was on about?
He did. He did. So that might not be the end of his quali, but he'd be lucky if he's got enough on them tyres now to put another fast lap in.
Yeah, all he's got to do is improve slightly.
You know, it's a difficult one because the track's so small as well. You've got people, you know, he don't want to hold anyone up, so he's going to be moving out of the way for faster cars coming behind him. It's a tricky track for that.
Just a moment of appreciation. Evil Prime has pretty much matched the time that I set in Q1 on Friday.
Yeah, like as I said, you can't rule out Evil Prime Guitar Maniac. They've both shown pace throughout the few races I've seen so far.
As Aidan Gray does actually get out of the way.
Get out of the way. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's going to slow him up a little bit. Might not give him the best run he wants out of the last couple of corners, but
if he's timed it right, he may be able to get a toe and make up the rest of that. Actually, I think he's just about got it right.
Yeah, I'll stay on board with him.
Hope he's got enough fuel in that car to get round. He's on his 7th lap in quali.
It's only showing 2 laps on these tyres for me.
Yeah, but if you look at the top of the timing board, like when you flick between people,
lap
it
7.
comes up. Yeah, with how many laps they've done in respective quality sessions, which I think that may have come in with the patch update, because that wasn't there recently. Well, it wasn't there last week.
It looks like we've lost Richie as well. Looks like Richie's either retired or crashed out.
I think he retired in the pits, as there were yellow flags, but I don't think it was that. I think it was just a slow-moving car, which we've got one in the Mercedes sideways or slow-moving.
See, Aidan Gray's catching this car in front now, which is probably not what he wanted. He's catching, is it the Alfa Romeo?
Yep.
Oh.
Stays well clear of that curb on the exit this time. I think he's just about done enough to beat his old PB. Nope.
He's out of fuel. He's in low fuel mode. He ran out of fuel.
Oh, that's heartbreaking when that happens.
Oh, so Aidan Gray. That's the surprise for me being out of Q1. That's the shock for me so far. You know, his quali pace the other week, or was it Canada? His quali pace was unreal.
Yeah, he had his best qualifying and then dropped down and then had a decent recovery drive and finished P4, I'm going to say, as Steve Otto is, again, not fully comfortable with this track, exploring track limits and retired on track. Which
shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, but it's end of quali.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where people still might be on flyers. Like, Sam Madsden has just passed him. And those yellow flags might have put him off a little bit into a braking zone or something. As he is
there's nobody who's going to move now. The only person who's still out on track is Aidan Gray, and he's out of fuel. So it looks like that's how Q1's ending. So we're going to be losing Steve Otto, P16, Richie D, Aidan Gray, Richie 567, and Behrman. Behrman, who obviously didn't get to settle that. He got disqualified for blocking the pit lane. Which it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Like I said, we saw it twice in Championship 2 on Friday night as well, one after the other. One person blocked someone, and then the person behind him got disqualified for blocking the person behind him as well.
Yeah, which was a little bit of a weird one. Yeah, Colin, to reiterate your point there, TT setups are not a good race setup. As he's just commented to that in the YouTube comments.
Yeah, but following a conversation earlier as well, Colin had been doing exactly what I did on the last season's game, was setting my time trials in realistic, not realising you could change them to equal. So I remember vividly, because I was looking at the leaderboard and I couldn't work out how you and Dan were using an assist that I don't use. Because you guys have been racing longer than me, but I couldn't work out why you had this extra assist on that I didn't, and it turned out it was equal performance.
Yeah, I think it was a conversation with me, because I was doing some TT laps at the time, and you were like, what's this little infinity symbol next to your guys' names? It's like, equal performance.
Yeah, as soon as I did that, I think I went 2.4 seconds quicker than my personal best.
Yeah, wasn't it for like Austria?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and you dropped into like the low 104s at the time.
Yeah, I'd been using the realistic McLaren last season, which I tell you wasn't good.
I can imagine that felt like you were trying to manhandle like an aggressive dog, just trying to get that round those final couple of corners. No, thank you.
To be honest, the handling I felt was alright. It was just the pace wasn't there. So first car out, we've got Osso, has gone out on mediums. Looks like a few cars are following him now. King of the Hills looks to be on mediums as well. Ninja's mediums. Huntsman is on softs. It wasn't King of the Hills. Sorry, it was Sociopath who come out. He's on softs.
I wonder how many people have watched the stream back from Friday night and realised that Dan did 22 laps on a set of softs.
I feel like you got the better deal there, if I'm honest, Colin. I feel like the AlphaTauri this season's better than the McLaren was last season. So we've still got Osho out first. He's going to be the first guy for a flying lap, so I'll stay on board with him. A couple of cars look like they're getting quite close behind Sociopath and Ninja, I believe that is.
So the guys that were hitting the 110s during Q1 on the softs, they should be looking at around about a 111 on the medium run, which, given the pace difference between the field, it could see a few of them comfortably through. But it could also mean
we could also see a few that may go out. That may some of the guys you expect to go through may not, because they're trying to gamble on the mediums. They want to start on the mediums, so it'll be interesting to see how it pans out over the next couple of minutes. Once the first lot of laps are done, because we've got 5 guys out so far on softs.
Yeah, I'm not sure about you, but when it comes to qualifying for myself, I let the first round of laps go in and then go out with about 8 minutes to go. And then if I need to go out again, I'll go out with about 3 minutes left.
No, so I tend to go out early, if I'm honest. Also, there's a 111.4. Ninja does a 111.5.
Huntsman a 110.7.
That's on softs though. It looks like Sociopath's pulled straight into the pits, so it looks like he's come out on softs by an accident. He's pulled straight back into the pits. You got King of the Hills on mediums. I'll jump on board with him. Paranoid a 110.8 on mediums as well.
Also, Bosso's just dropped it. So, Kane Lowry with a 110.6 on soft tyres. Very respectable lap, but...
Yeah, King of the Hills a 111.5. So this is what I was saying now. So your soft runners are very much quicker than your medium runners, other than, obviously, Paranoid's done a blinding lap on the mediums there. But there's quite a few people on the mediums I'm going to expect to put another set of softs on to just go out and try and get a faster lap in. Because I don't think some of them lap times are going to be good enough if some of the guys behind put softs on. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, I'd say really, given the soft tyre performance, the window to break through will be, to get through will be about a 111.
Mage and Batmandu looks like they're playing team tactics there. It looks like Mage give Batmandu a slipstream down the final straight there. Both finishing 4th and 5th. 111.2 and a 111.3. Yeah, very, very clever. If it was intentional, very clever.
Even if it's unintentional and it's just somehow managed to hook up, and they've done... they're only, less than a tenth apart?
Oh, Sociopath.
That was Ninja binning it in the hairpin.
It was. If I'm honest, I was on, but I'd flipped back to Sociopath because I saw he was on an outlap. I wanted to see if he'd changed to the medium tyres, which he hasn't. He's got softs on again. So the first run, he mustn't have made a mistake, but he was in the way of Ninja's hot lap.
Yeah, and that's why Ninjas ended up in the gravel at the hairpin.
Yeah, that looked to be Sociopath's fault for me there. He just sort of idle him round, like, you know.
Oh!
Ooh.
Mage just had a big crash.
Oh, Sociopath's just spun into turn 3 as well. Doesn't look like he's out, but he's not moving. If he doesn't move... he was waiting for Mage. He was waiting for Mage to go past. Fair play to him there for that one. But this is, you know, he's come out once, done an out lap, gone back into the pits, come out again, blocked Ninja's lap, and then come out, like, as he's gone for his hot lap, he's binned it, so...
I've been there and done this myself a few times. A few citation laps. So come out, just use the same set of tyres. I know it's saying that he's using, like, he's on fresh softs. But he may have just come out of the pits to do a few sighting laps on each set, scrub them in a little bit in order to get the most out of them for when he does need to go on a flying lap. But at this rate, he does risk burning through his tyres very quickly and end up starting the race on a used set, a heavily used.
As Kane Lowry retired after his lap time, he's not crashed out, otherwise it would pop him down to P15, so...
Yeah, he's retired.
He's happy with that lap. He thinks that's enough to see him through.
I personally don't think it won't be entirely safe if everybody pops on.
I think he probably only dropped down to about P7, 8. I think
he'll be comfortable, like, he'll be safe, but I don't think he'll be comfortably safe, because King of the Hills has pace. Everybody below him has 1 lap pace. Like, we're still got to see Ninja and Hound do a lap. Sociopath still has to do a lap. Guitar Maniac.
I'm on board with Sociopath. I just set a purple sector 2.
As that's Haas getting out of his way.
I think that's both Alfa Romeos getting out of his way. He's invalidated.
Yeah, he's invalidated.
He's having a nightmare now.
I want to know how much fuel he went out with this. He's just managing to bang lap after lap, and he's out of ERS too.
Yeah, well, he did. Oh, sorry, I didn't realise the telemetry and lap data had turned back off. He did go out, do an out lap, come straight back in, and then came back out on the same tyres. So I don't quite know what's happened. I'll flick on board with someone else. Who else have we got on a hot lap? Stephen's currently just started one. He's just gone through turn 1.
Sector 1, and he's 6 temps up on his lap.
No, Stephen's still...
Sorry, he was 6 temps up on his previous best there. Someone was, it flicked up on my screen. Ninja.
Right, yeah.
Into P12.
Yeah, Stephen's just done a
P12
purple
P5.
sector 1.
He needs to find 2 temps minimum to get through. And I'm actually interested as to what setup Stephen is running. If it's his, then he's had trouble trying to get it sorted all week. If it's the one I gave him earlier, then he may have had to make a few adjustments to it.
Yeah, he was saying he found Dan's easier to use, to be honest, because he'd used it so much. So I was talking to him earlier before he left at the practice session, but
he's just put himself P10.
P10. Will that be enough though? You know, you've got a few guys coming out now. King of the Hills, Osso, Gameful, and Guitar Maniac yet to show their pace.
Sociopath put himself into P7, by the way.
Guitar
Maniac's just gone pole, provisional pole, on a set of mediums.
A 1:10.6 on the mediums. This is what I was saying. Some of the guys now, the guys who set mediums for the early laps are now coming back out on softs. So we've got Osso's out on softs. Oh, Stephen.
Oh, he's lucky to still be in quali.
Oh, very lucky. Very lucky. That was a big crash.
That curb, isn't it?
Yeah, but has he got enough time to get back?
How long's left in the session?
I can't see the timer. If I'm honest, I think that bit's 4 minutes.
I think he's got just about enough time. You only need to leave the pits with about 2 minutes left of time to be able to get back.
Yeah, it'll be close. It'll be close. We'll jump on board with Gameful. He's currently at the bottom. I believe he's on a flying lap as well.
It's just at the hairpin. Like, I genuinely, on last year's game, despised this track. I couldn't hook up a lap to save my life. And for some reason, it's completely flipped on its head, and it's now one of my stronger tracks.
Yeah, I didn't really struggle with it last season. I just didn't really think a lot of it. It wasn't my best track. Definitely wasn't my worst.
As Gameful's just put himself right behind his teammate.
He's 6 or 1:10.8. That's a solid lap as well. That should see him through now. I think the ones to watch now are Sam Madsen coming out on an outlap, King of the Hills on an outlap, Barkman on an outlap on a fresh set of softs, as well as Sociopath. Oh, it looks like Sociopath's picked a fresh set of softs, but he's not out yet.
So just a quick one. I'm just in the Discord. Scotto has just said that, is there anyone free to fill my reserve spot? I need to go at 9 and the race will still be going on then. Once you're in the session, you're in the session.
Nobody can replace you, it's too late for that.
Yeah.
This is why we ask people to check in if you're available. If you're not available or you need to drop out, don't check in.
Yeah. Because there might have been someone else that was able to take the seat the entire day. Because if you leave during the race itself, then it's just going to mess up and it's just going to be a ghosted car the entire race. We had it Friday.
Yeah, we did.
Dan has just commented saying that 23 laps on the softs, 13 on the mediums. That's the tyre strap.
I just want to correct him. I think he's 13 laps with the hards. He started on the hards, didn't he? Because he crashed out of quali.
Yeah, he crashed out of quali trying to keep up with me.
Oh. See somebody's head swelling a little bit.
You got to admit though, Friday's qualifying performance was the best quali you've seen from me.
Yeah, definitely.
No, it's not even ifs and buts. It was just a solid. Gameful has actually set a purple sector too. Looks like he's going again, but he's putting a lot of laps on these soft tyres to start the race. This little bit out of shape there, but he will improve. I'm not sure on how much, but
I don't know whether Hound has just retired or crashed out.
That is him retiring. Sociopath is on a lap. He's just on a purple sector 1. Sorry, purple sector 2.
I'm on board with Barkman still because it looks like he's gone for another flying lap just on a purple sector 2.
Sociopath just knocked him out. Maged is now in the drop zone, who's done 4 laps on his medium, so they're going to be hella worn by the start of the race. Yeah, Barkman coming around the final corner.
Goes P4, 110.5, solid lap. But knocked his teammate out there, put his teammate into P11. Ninja currently the one at risk. The only person out on a lap that can beat him is Sam Madsen.
Paranoid's just dropped it in the hairpin and he was up on his time. Sam just beat his personal best but didn't improve whatsoever in track position.
Instead P15, so I believe that's going to be the end of it. Paranoid, you said, has been his faster lap.
Yeah, it was 2 temps up going into the middle of Sector 2 and caught the curb at the hairpin. And it just rotated the front of the car too much. But also Bosso is still flying around for some reason, even though the quality session is over. See, Dan, you can't even get your own tyre strategy right. You were the one that did it. So, we have one Alpha Tauri, both McLarens, one Mercedes, one Alpine. Is that both Alpines? Nope, one Alpine, one Williams, one Aston, one Alfa Romeo. Sorry, both Alpines are through, and one Ferrari. So the top 10 for the constructors is looking competitive.
Yeah, definitely is. I think that, you know, the decision splitting it between the tiers this season was obviously a different decision to what we did last season, and it makes it more tier specific. You have more control over it. So these guys here know they're driving for their teammate. I feel that it just creates a better fight for that within that championship, right?
Yeah, and when we did the draw, we did it live, and so there was no like suggestions that anything was interfered with, and each championship got an all admin partnership.
Yeah, we did what we could to avoid that, and it's a shame. It's a shame, to be honest. It's a shame it happened once, let alone 3 times.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. Who's Jeremy's teammate? Is it Avi?
I think it's Avalanche, yeah. So this session now, we've just lost Maged, Charlie in Japan, CDR Hound, Osso Bosso, and Sam Madsen. So these 5 will get a free tyre pick for the race. So it's not all doom and gloom. As you said, you know, the Championship 2 winner on Friday came from P15 or P13, so it's, you know, there's a lot still to race for, so they just need to keep their heads up, keep it clean in the race, really.
More importantly, well, not more importantly, but more to the point, Jay Hoot in Championship 1, P20 to P3.
Yeah, brilliant drive from him. I just want to add as well, Warrior Huntsman in the 109s. I didn't see that pop up, but
what?
A 109.793.
Jesus.
That is quick.
Yeah, he beat my pole time already.
That is quick.
Yeah, I did say he has savage 1 lap pace around here. I have him as a friend, and I've seen his TT time, and I think it's like a 108, 109, like 1 or something around that ballpark figure.
Yeah, well, as we've said though, 1 lap pace isn't everything. Definitely not on this game. You need a lot more than 1 lap pace. And I see Dan's just commented saying that I've said it's a shame he's my teammate, and that's not the way it was meant, Dan, but
we both know it was.
Certainly one of us was more excited than the other.
You mean that if you was actually sat next to you in person, he would have slapped you while celebrating getting you as a teammate? Arms went everywhere.
So the first car we've got on track is JK and Lowry. So I'll jump on board with him.
I was just about to say, do you know those big inflatable things outside of American car dealerships? Dan was like that when he realised he got you as a teammate. We can abuse Dan because he's not here. He's at work.
Yeah, he's still commenting on the stream though, so be careful. See, Ninja, looks like he's pushing Kane Lowry here. It looks like Ninja wants to be the first person to set a lap. Don't know why he's pushing so hard on his out lap. It looks like he's starting to back off a little bit now.
May have pushed on his out lap a little bit in order to get that little bit of clearance from the car behind or the car ahead.
Catching the car in front is not what you want.
Yeah.
Especially not through the twisty corners.
Nope. But Kane Lowry's just coming over the line now to start his lap as one of the Alpines is getting ready to leave. I saw it pop out of its pit box and into the pit lane as Kane Lowry was coming down pit straight.
Yeah, that'll be gameful.
This is definitely one of those tracks though where you need to find your rhythm very early on in the qualifying session.
Yeah, it's also one of them you want to be careful. You don't want to push too hard, because if you push too hard and lose it, that's the end of your session.
Yeah. The barriers are so close on certain corners, but on others they've got so much distance. Like where Kane Lowry is now on Friday night, I clipped the grass in the braking zone going into that hairpin and it just spun me round and I ended up halfway into the gravel trap, which was the beginning of the end of my fight for the race win.
Kane Lowry's coming round now to set his first lap, which will be the first lap of Q3.
And it's going to be a 1:10.4. 1:10.7. I wasn't too far up with the guesstimate as Ninja's just pipped him immediately.
1:10.6. I feel Batmandu's going to go quicker. Here we go, 1:10.5. I saw Batmandu took the purple sector 2 from him.
Paranoid 1:10.2.
Jump on with King of the Hills through the final bits of sector 3 here.
Huntsman's done a 1:9.9. And puts himself up into P4. It's respectable. Kane Lowry's actually in the barrier at the moment. I'm not sure what he's doing out there or where he is. How has he ended up there? Just jump on board with Kane Lowry for a moment.
I'm on board with Gameful. He's coming up to where he is at the moment. It looks like he might have clipped. That was the corner I was struggling with on Friday. Do you know the downhill right-hander?
Yeah.
So it looks like he might have clipped the curb and gone. Got sent off the track.
I think I know what's happened. He ran out wide and was on the curb going into the braking zone of the second part of that double right-hander.
Yeah.
And it's just ejected him.
Yeah, some of them curbs are bigger than you think. I found that out on Friday as well.
Yeah. Evil Prime's just done a 1:10 flat.
It's going to be close at the top. It's going to be very close. Gameful's set a 1:11.3.
Has he had a moment somewhere? No, he's still got his front wing.
Are you on board with it? Can you see the the telemetry at the bottom?
Yes.
So do you see the screw? Oh, it's gone now. Next to,
yeah,
do you know when they're on low fuel?
Yeah, that's the little fuel pump next to it. When it comes up with the little
spanner and the screwdriver cross.
Yeah, that's in lap.
Right, because that was red, and now it's not. But he's backed off.
Yeah, what may have happened is he may have picked up the pace a little bit to make it an actual cool down lap instead of a in lap. Because it does look like he's trying to keep heating these tyres to go again.
If I'm honest, I thought that was a damage marker. I thought that was saying that the car had damage. No, which is what I couldn't work out. You know, as someone who's setting a faster lap with damage, it's just caught me off guard.
Yeah. Guitar Maniac's just coming round onto the DRS straight now in the run down to the final, and he's just on a purple sector 2.
There we go. Gameful's going for another hot lap now.
Guitar Maniac will be coming round the penultimate corner in a moment. Tidy line from him. I think he's going to go P5.
P4. 1:10.3. Not a bad lap. Not a bad lap at all.
No, seeing as we aimed for about a second difference between each championship from pole times. We did say the top, say 7 or 8 would be challenging in the midfielder championship 2, and the top 7 or 8 of Championship 2 challenging like midfield of Championship 1. And this just proves it by the fact that the current pole time would have put Warrior Huntsman in P3 in Championship 1 on Friday. It's that close, and unfortunately there's not too much we can do about it. Oh, gains almost a second in his time, but only moves up to P6.
Yeah, 110.5. Leaves a few people with something to do behind him now. We've got Ninja on an outlap. His Guitar Maniac's just coming into the pits. I'll jump on board with Ninja because I think he's the first on an outlap out of the rest.
You would be correct. The next man is Sociopath, but he's only just finished Sector 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ninja's got plenty of free track ahead of him.
Depends who's coming out of the pits in front though. I see
that is
Warrior Huntsman. Yeah, Alpha Tori's just come out of the pits, so
but he
should be far enough ahead to not slow him
up. End of Sector 1 by the time Ninja's got through turn 1. Took a deep line there. Yeah,
it's not too bad though taking a deep line. I noticed myself through all the laps of bloody practice we did that, you know, the deep line in turn 1 you can get away with it because you get on the throttle. You know, you're in a straighter line. It's easier to get full throttle.
Yeah, you square it off a little bit.
Yeah.
And get on the accelerator. My personal preference through there is hug the curb on the pit lane exit, which is dangerous because one wheel over it and it's hooking the car and spinning you.
Yeah, that's good night. Good night, Vienna. You know, if you touch that curb, I find that out myself through practice enough.
Yeah, Ninja's marginally quicker. Like, I don't think he could get any closer to his personal best through Sector 2. Like, it was 0.005 quicker. So it's all down to the final couple of corners. Is he going to improve? No. How did he... What? He must have had a terrible final corner.
Did that say he was 1.1 down?
Yeah. Sociopath's had a moment. He's 8 seconds down on his PB. Kane Lowry's on an outlap now. Huntsman's just dropped it and lost an end plate. So I think that's the end of Huntsman's quali.
Yeah, well, Ninja's out of ERS now, but he's still pushing.
It's that age-old thing of having to remember to turn your ERS off on an outlap.
Yeah, I think he's got no chance here, if I'm honest. Saying that, he's 700ths down.
So
through Sector 2.
If he has a tidier final sector, he may improve. Unless he's just trying to spank it and then get back to the pits to get... Nah, he's not got enough time.
No, he's committed to it. He's got his DRS open and still
actually does improve.
Yeah, well, very slightly. Very slightly. Who else can we jump on board with? Kane Lowry's coming into the first corner.
Yep. And now he's coming into the banking. Again, personal preference there. The lane to take is hug the curb as close as possible on the lower side of the banking.
Oh, it's a purple sector 1.
You know what, guys? Everybody that's found a sudden burst of pace on this game, it seems to be since they redesigned their helmets for the CDR color scheme. It does. Aiden Gray's got one. Aiden Gray's had great quality since he did it.
Apart from tonight.
Now got one. Yeah. We'll excuse the one off. Back at it next week in Monza.
Dan James might be P10 here, you know. Oh, Kane Lowry. He's invalidated and hit the wall.
And lost his end plate.
Yeah, trying too hard there. It's a shame because he was on a blinding lap. But that's going to be the end of his quali because he's not got enough time to get back in and get back out.
Nope.
See if King of the Hills can improve. Currently P8. He's on a fresh set of softs as well.
He's currently 16.3 seconds down.
Oh, right, yeah, so his lap's gone. Sorry, I thought there was enough time for him to get a hot lap in.
Gameful Odds is just about to come across the line.
Yeah, I'm on board. P6.
Moves himself into P6. That little bit of time he's managed to eke out of that lap there actually moved him up a position.
Yeah, Bartmandu's 2/10 up. Down, up. Plus. Yeah, plus.
Then it's down.
He's pulled straight into the pits anyway.
Yeah. At this point in quali,
Paranoid spun.
At this point in quali, you may as well take the flag instead of pulling into the pits. Because he's in the Mercedes too, so he's just got to get wheeled into the pits before the finish line. So the session's going to have to wait for everybody to cross the line.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to disappear for a second. I'll let you run through the top 10 once it confirms.
Yep. It won't move on the stream, but I will confirm it. Warrior for tier 1. I'm not sure about that, as I did say at the top of the program that he does have Savage 1 lap pace around here. So let's see how he gets on in the actual race. As we're just waiting on Paranoid to eventually complete his lap, as he's in low fuel mode. Or about to run out of fuel. Okay guys, so we have Warrior Huntsman in P1, Evil Prime in P2, Guitar Maniac in P3, Paranoid and Bark Commandu in P4 and 5 respectively, Gainful Odds and Sociopath in P6 and 7, King of the Hills in P8, and CDR Ninja and JK and Lowry in P9 and 10, with just under 9 temps separating the top 10. It's an interesting qualifying session, so let's see on how they get on in the race. And hopefully Clayton is back before the race gets underway, so we can actually show you what everybody's running and sort of things like that for the guys that are starting outside of the top 10. As we've got our top 10 finalized, anybody that is watching this, any predictions for the race winner? Drop a comment in on the stream and we'll talk about them as they come through. Okay guys, sorry about that, the little bit of silence there. Just doing the formation lap as we flick through. As you can see, the one-stop strategy, medium to hards, like pitting on lap 15 to 16, and Steve Otto and Richie D coming together. The car that's disqualified first is normally the one that's hit the other one. So I would say that was Richie D's fault as he was disqualified first and is the car behind. Unfortunately for them, both of them will start on cold tyres, as I don't think they managed to get past the first corner.
Sorry about that.
No worries. Richie D and Steve Otto just got disqualified from the formation lap.
Yeah, so I kept the stream live on my phone. Be interesting to see what strategies are being pulled now.
Yeah, do you want to get what everybody's running outside the top 10 up?
Oh, so we've got the bottom 6 guys starting on the hard tyres.
Okay, so they definitely watched the stream from the other night and saw Dan do it, and they're like, I can do that.
Yeah, so we've got Osso, Sam Madsen, Steve Otto, Richie D, Aidan Gray, Richie and Behrman, all starting on the hards.
I'm going to be the one that says this out loud. Since he changed his PSN to Bayman, I've found myself calling him T-Bag way more often.
I always go to say it and then stop myself and call him Behrman instead.
You know exactly what I mean, though. Since he changed it...
We're waiting for the last car round.
Which is...
looks like one of the Red Bulls.
Yeah, you're still missing one. That's Richie. You're missing Bayman in the AlphaTauri.
No, he's already on the grid.
The AlphaTauris are bookmarking the grid.
Here we go. Let's see who gets a good start here. Oh, there's carnage already.
That looked like both Mercs coming together, if I'm being
No,
honest.
it was an Aston. An Aston and a Merc. And I think Ninja got caught in that as well.
Evil Prime's gone already.
Evil Prime's gone out of turn 1. And there's a VSC straight away. That's not a good start. Bartmandu's also dropping down the leaderboard now. A number of people here picking 5 seconds. Yeah, Charlie got one as well as Aidan Gray.
King of the Hills managed to get away with it. So, unless Charlie went into the back of him, or, like, we're not going to pretend about this. We all know how much rubbish the Delta is on this game.
Yeah, it's very difficult, especially on this track. I found on Friday, you'd be 3 temps in the green, and then all of a sudden you were 4 temps in the red. And
mine went 1.3 seconds from the green to 4 temps in the red.
I know you got Guitar Maniac, a drive-through penalty speeding under the VSC.
Which will 100% probably be due to the Delta just suddenly changing on him.
Yeah, like as I say, it's very difficult in this game, and you've got to be aware of the cars around you as well. Make sure that they're giving you enough space, as we've just lost an Alpine through the final corner. Who was that? That was Gameful. Gameful spun out of the final corner.
It looks like Aidan Gray is taking his drive through already. I know he's coming into pit. He's putting on a set of mediums.
There's a few cars here. They all, I don't know what's going on here. Gameful, I think it was Sam Madsen. Gameful's out. Gameful's out. Gameful, Sam Madsen, and I believe it was Hound were all inside each other on camera then. As I flicked to them, the 3 of them were all inside each other, and then Gameful spun in at the wall.
Ooh. Yeah, just got to wait for our telemetry to sort itself out, because at the moment I've got Kane Lowry at 2 minutes and 12 seconds behind the leader. I don't think that's accurate, because apparently Charlie in Japan is a minute and 18 seconds behind the leader. That's definitely not right.
No, Charlie's isn't. Kane Lowry does appear to be the last car on track. No, he is. He is the last car on track, on the hards.
It's just sorted itself out. He's now 24 seconds behind the car ahead.
Yeah. Charlie still hasn't sorted, and so Shipath as well. Oh.
Charlie's is just sorted now.
Sam Madsen picks up a drive-through. Wow.
VSC's guys. Oh, Hounds just picked up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
Seems like we're picking up a lot of unnecessary penalties here as we get back to racing. I'm on board with King of the Hills at the moment as we've got Sociopath right on the back of him off the safety car restart, the VSC restart. Be interesting to see here who's kept some heat in the tyres because it's difficult on this game and it makes a big difference.
And in retrospect here, these two are teammates. So early doors, one of them's got a penalty. Do you let the faster one go that doesn't have a penalty in order to maximise points for the team?
Yeah, Sociopath sort of half committed to a move there. See both the Mercs into P11 and P12 now.
Yeah.
There you go, Sociopath's gone.
Yeah, half committing to a move is on how you cause incidents.
Yeah, Guitar Maniac looks like he served his drive-through straight away.
Yeah, as the fastest laps are now rolling in and... Oh look, already at Valtteri Bottas territory.
No spoilers for the race. Just in case anybody hasn't watched it, we want it.
That's why I left it where I did. Stephen has retired in the pits.
I don't think he has. He looks before the pit lane to me.
Oh, that is bits of Ferrari, but his car is actually in the pit lane. No, it's not. It's final corner.
It's before the pits.
Yeah, it looks. He's dropped it coming out the final corner.
Easily done. I did it there myself.
What I think, Friday. Yeah, so did I. Opened ERS a little bit too early, and the rears just got a little bit loose.
We've got Charlie all over the back. Banking. Charlie all over the back of King of the Hills at the moment. Let's see what he does down this DRS straight. But I think Charlie still has a penalty, doesn't he? Does he still have a drive-through? He does. Charlie's got 5 seconds. King of the Hills with a drive-through.
Which this is actually benefiting the guys with drive-throughs because if there's a VSC, you can't serve it because it's not a racing lap.
Yeah.
And ideally, you want the field to spread out a little bit. But
does that reset the 3 laps you had to serve it in?
No, you have 3 racing laps after.
Well, I believe there's already been 2 racing laps, so I think King of the Hills has to serve it straight at the end of this VSC.
It will be, if my memory serves me correctly on the rule, it has to be a clear racing lap, so no VSC in it. So it will have until the end of next lap if it goes in now. I'm not entirely confident that is the official rule, but it does seem to ring true somewhere.
There you go, we're back racing, DRS enabled straight away again. It looks like King of the Hills managed to get a better restart under that VSC than Charlie did. He's now 1.1 behind.
Yeah.
1.2.
If I was King of the Hills, I'd just take this now.
It looks like he's binned it anyway. Charlie now up into P4. Look, Stephen's reporting in the comments that same sort of thing that happened to Dan on Friday. He selected softs and the game put him on hards.
This is it, like, genuine question. When you are editing your strategy, Aiden Grace just left the session, whereas he's down in P14. I will send him an invite back into the session. When you confirm your strategy, are you pressing circle, or are you just pressing? Sorry, are you pressing X or are you pressing circle to go back? Because if you don't press X, it doesn't confirm your strategy.
So I'm on board with Sociopath, who's within DRS range of within DRS range of Paranoid. Obviously, Sociopath running the soft tyre to Paranoid's medium, but it looks like he's using a lot of DRS to try and stay with him.
You mean ERS?
That's what I meant. It's definitely what I meant.
Yeah. Yellow flag in Sector 2, going into Sector 3.
It's the other Ferrari though.
That will be Ninja. That is Ninja. Ferrari's not having a good day today, are they?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Can we take a moment to appreciate that Aiden Gray has managed to pull himself up into P13 already, and he's just dropped it.
Curse to the commentator if ever I've seen one.
I need to stop doing this.
And there's a VSC again.
That will be because of the damage left from Aiden Gray. Steve Otto has just retired from the session. Was that in the pits?
Wait, it's DNF'd on my screen. It looks like he's at the wall.
Whereabouts on track was he?
It's not showing. It's showing his car in the pit lane already, but it's got DNF next to his name. So
yeah.
It might have been him that were the cause of the VSC.
No, he was at the end of the pit lane. So that will need to be reviewed.
This is where it's going to get interesting now, though, because we've now got guys on 6-lap old mediums, softs and hards up at the front of the grid. So Osso, who started way back where on the hards, is now into P5, and he's still got plenty of life in them tyres to carry on going. We've got Charlie up into... Oh, Charlie's pitted.
Yeah.
So Osso's now up into P3 on the hard tyres. He's in the prime position here.
And the man that I actually picked for the win, well, for pole, who didn't particularly have the best Q3, is now actually leading the race. And seems comfortable in the process of doing so. But he does also have sociopath for company. And I'm not being funny, I would not want sociopath for company myself.
Looks like we've got a bit of a DRS train here with Osso, Guitar Maniac and Huntsman. Huntsman being on the new medium tyres. The guys in front on 7-lap old mediums and softs. Mediums and hards, sorry.
This is it. Also may actually get away with this because Warrior Huntsman and Richie D, Guitar Maniac and Warrior Huntsman may end up tripping over themselves, battling each other to try and have a pop at Osso. Or they could work smart and use each other's DRS.
Oh, Guitar Maniac's gone for the move and he's got it, and it looks like Osso's pulled aside and let him through. It looks like Warrior's got through as well, yeah.
It looked like he just broke late and ran deep. And just compromised his lane coming back. Ideally not what you want to be doing this early on.
I'm going to stick with this battle just because I want to see if Warrior Huntsman puts a move in on Guitar Maniac, because he's very close to him still.
Yeah, Aiden Grace just asked me for another invite. He did manage to rejoin.
Yeah, he left again after the last spin. As the VSC came out, he left again. I apologise, I didn't point it out.
Okay, give me a sec. I will attempt to fire him off an invite. It's why it is beneficial to have two commentators, one handling the stream, and then the other one being able to do what I'm doing now and firing out spare invites in case.
Yeah, as I say, I apologise, I didn't pick it up because I thought you'd already seen it, but...
No, I'd missed it.
Huntsman's got the DRS here on Guitar Maniac, but still not got the pace to get past him. Differing lines slightly through turn 1. Looks like we've had somebody else bin it out of the last corner. It's King of the Hills. Oh, he's into the pits, straight into the pits.
Yeah.
Huntsman's still all over the back of Guitar Maniac. Them new tyres providing a big boost in pace, but it doesn't seem like it's enough to get him past. You're just waiting to be in the right distance from him into that DRS zone, aren't you?
Yeah, as we discussed this earlier, actually, didn't we? The DRS along here isn't particularly effective You need to be within 2 or 3 tenths coming out the final corner to actually get enough of a toll with the DRS to get past.
Well, that's it. Some racetracks, you know, your straight's long enough that... Oh, he looks like he's got him here. Looks like he's got him. DRS and breezes past him on the straight before the braking zone. Very nicely done.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, that move's completed now, and that's it. He should be pulling away now because them laps are 8 laps. Them tyres are 8 laps newer than Guitars are.
Yeah, Aiden Gray has had another invite.
I think I saw him rejoin as well.
Yeah, it looks. Yeah, he's just taking control of his car.
Yeah, Huntsman's just set a purple sector 1, so he should be putting some pressure in now to try and catch up to Sociopath and Paranoid, who are still yet to pit. So it looks like Warrior's committed to a 2-stop because them mediums won't go all the way.
No, he's got 25 laps left to do on him, and they're not going to do 30-something laps. No way. It does look like he's on track to set another fastest lap of the race, though.
No, I was saying Warrior's only done 2 laps on these mediums. I don't think he's going to get 25 out of them, 26 out of them.
Yeah.
It could be possible, but depends on other people's strategies, whether he's going to be under pressure or not.
Yeah, and they'd be dead at the end of the race, but Sociopath is now within striking distance of Paranoid. Oh, just out of... I'm just going to shut up now.
Yeah, I just flicked to him and thought, what? He's 2 seconds behind.
He had a moment, he got a snap of oversteer coming out of turn 3.
We got Maged in the pits. Charlie looks like he's put a set of hards on. He's done 3 laps on his hards at the moment. He's in P6. Probably not a bad strategy, because them hards do have the capacity to make it to the end.
I pitted about now on Friday on my hards and went to the end. And by the time I completed the race, my tyres were about 30% worn.
Yeah,
they'd come back into a nice operating window. I was setting my PB like sectors, lap after lap. So I was chipping away at my personal best time, but it still wasn't anywhere near the fastest lap, which you did take from me. You got me back to last week.
Well, that's it. I had to. You know, you look at mine and your finishing positions in that Spa and Zandvoort. You were P8 with fastest lap at Spa. I was P8 with fastest lap here.
Yeah, and the thing is, I could have also won Friday's race.
Yeah,
So
well,
this
is why I started this race saying anything can happen in the race. You know, at one point on Friday, I was in P1, and then I looked comfortable in P2, and what happened? I spun. And this is it. Anything can happen. There's a lot that can go on. There's 23 laps left.
Yeah. I just want to chime in here. For Championship 3, these Aston Martins, I think, have been the unluckiest team so far this season.
Yeah, I agree.
Most races, they end up languishing around about the bottom end of the points. And it's not due to, like, poor qualifying performance or anything like that. It just seems to be whenever there's an incident, they're collected. Yeah, they just seem to get caught up in it. It might just be wrong place, wrong time, or not knowing where to put the car when there's a car flying through the track, which we've all been there. We've all hit a car that it should be ghosted.
Yeah,
but isn't yet.
I've done that a number of times. You come round the corner, you see a car that's already spun, and you think, I don't need to move, he'll be ghosted, and then you smash straight into him.
It happened to me in Spain, didn't it? Coming out the pits, the car ahead of me was ghosted, and then as soon as I got to it, it went solid. That was me out of quali there and then.
Yeah, I'm just on board with King of the Hills at the moment, who looks like he's catching Sam Madsen, who's also catching Bartmandu. Looks like Bartmandu's just come out of the pits, though. Fresh set of hards, like.
And they are now both on the back of... both on the back of Bartmandu, but the benefit of the slow tyre around here is, if you preserve your ERS,
He's gone for the outside there. That's a good
That
move by
is...
Sam Mad. Oh, wheel to wheel that. That was a little collision. It was a bold move.
It's a love tap. It's elbows out, aggressive overtaking. Personally,
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with it.
No, I don't myself. It's a place where you don't expect to see an overtake, and maybe that's why Bartman didn't expect it. But King of the Hills there, picking up a position without having to do anything.
And he's now got DRS on Sam Madston. So,
yeah, if I'm honest, Bartman probably feeling a little hard done by there, not expecting a car coming up the inside, especially not through the S section there.
No, the run up that hill to the awkward corner. It's a very difficult place to overtake, and I think it is the only place besides the start-finish and a DRS straight where you can run too wide.
There we go, King of the Hills.
Yeah,
sorry to cut across. King of the Hills has jumped up the inside into turn one with the DRS, got that done.
Yeah, one of you has to give way when you do get to that corner, though.
Definitely.
That is Richie dropping it coming out of turn 2 in the run up to turn 3. He's already a lap down.
I went to the wrong Richie. I think he were waiting for cars to pass as well. Because I know he pulled aside when King of the Hills and Sam Madsen came down the straight as well.
There's a certain level of respect that needs to be given. You can't just pull aside and come to pretty much a stop, because then it impedes you.
Yeah.
But you've also moving off of lane. Yes, and lifting slightly in a corner that should be flat out. That's fine, but if you just come into a pretty much stop on the outskirts of the track, it can cause a distraction, which can cause someone to drop it. It's that kind of catch-22 of what you've got to do. It's a skill you learn at the end of the day.
Yeah, just looking at the comments there, Stephen, he gives up trying to race. Look, it's one of them things, mate. You don't always have the rub of the green, but you've just got to keep going. You've got to keep plugging at it. As I said, this track is one of them that throws anything at you. I didn't see the incident on board, but it's an unlucky end to your race. But keep your head on, mate. There's always next week.
Yeah. Next week it's only Monza.
Yeah. Nothing to worry about at Monza. I have a brilliant race record at Monza. I've managed to complete 75% of one lap.
So Monza, it's okay. You've only got to worry about the Lesmos, Ascari, potentially dropping out of Parabolica. Turn 1, lap 1.
Behrman's just DNF.
Retired in the pits.
Is he retired in the pits? It popped up as a DNF, that's why.
Yeah, it is. It looks like he's crashed into the pit lane.
I was on board with Mage as he's in DRS zone. It looks like the closest battle we've got on track so far. Mage on Richie D. He's been behind him for about two laps now, 3 laps.
Is he just going to get bored in a minute and just absolutely send one?
No,
not bored, frustrated.
Knowing the car in front's on 16 lap olds or hards, or knowing the car in front's on hards, you should just be plugging away. He's binned it.
No.
Oh, he's binned it.
There is still debris on the track from previous incidents there.
Yeah, hopefully he's not got rear wing damage there, because that will cost him.
So you've still got Stevens' front wing.
That could cause him a lot of damage. A lot of damage to the race anyway, or to his prospects of getting some positions.
Retire in the pits.
Cheers for that, Colin. Obviously, it's hard to see sometimes on stream. Looks like somebody else has binned it in turn 3, or there's been a collision. Yellow flag pops up there briefly.
This is Sam Madston is now actually catching up onto the back of Ninja by the looks of it. There's a little train of cars.
King of the Hills is all over the back of Ninja. Sam Madson's 3 seconds back from King of the Hills.
Yeah. So they've got a Red Bull in between them, which is Richie. So that I was looking at the track map. But as these two are squabbling, it's actually pulling him into play. So,
well, that's it. King of the Hills has done. He's done well to gap Sam Madsen by 3 seconds. Well, 2.5 seconds since he got past him a couple of laps ago. You know, was on board for that overtake. King of the Hills now looking for Ninja.
By the way, Sociopath has actually dropped into the pits. And he's now down in P4. Huntsman is back up in P2.
What happened there? What happened there? King of the Hills, we got to the braking zone. King of the Hills went straight into the back of Ninja.
And Ninja's lost his front wing as a result.
That's not where you want to stop, King of the Hills, mate. Yeah, that was a strange one. I don't know if there was a late move under braking or what happened, a missed braking point, but that's a full safety car.
Yeah, I mean, given the fact that we're stewards, all of the stuff that we miss on the stream, when it gets reported, we do actually get to see.
Yeah, like I say, I'm on board with that. I think I was getting a bit carried away looking at the timing screens as well.
Okay, just sorry to cut across. Paranoid has taken this opportunity to drop into the pits. He is partly on a set of hards. Huntsman has dropped into the pits. He's on another set of mediums. So, 16 laps left to go. Yep, both should be in relatively good stead to get a great result. Guitar Maniac is currently leading the race and hasn't pitted yet. And he's on 19-lap-old mediums.
And Richie D hasn't pitted. He's just come out of the pits now. That's his first stop. He's put softs on.
Stop for him.
For the no, he's not. Sorry.
He's put mediums on.
It changed. It did say soft. It's just changed to medium. It might have been as Charlie passed him.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout for him, to be honest.
There's a few guys now here diving into pits. King of the Hills, Ninja, Batman Do, Kane Lowry.
After Ninja's incident, I can just hear what Dan James is saying. And it's not for public viewing. Like, I can even hear it in his voice.
Yeah. Well, so this safety car's come out now, and a lot of people have decided to pit. The only people who haven't is Guitar Maniac out on 19-lap-old mediums. And Sam Madsen on 15-lap-old mediums.
Unless he's just trying to extend this stint because he thinks that softs won't last this long, but with the current fuel loads, they'd more than easily go to the end of the race. I'd love to be able to look at what type of fuel load each person is running with and how much excess fuel they've got at this point.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting stat to see the current fuel percentage, and it's going to be interesting under this restart now. Obviously, Charlie running on the softs, brand new, fresh softs, so I'd expect him to make a couple of moves, maybe be fighting for a podium position. Pretty much everyone behind Guitar Maniac, I'd expect to be making moves. I'd expect Guitar to drop down a few positions here.
Yeah, he's going to have to pit, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a fast driver, but that many cars behind you on fresh tyres, it's going to be hard to defend. Very hard.
Yeah, but I also see where he's coming from, because the mediums will still be in a good window, because they've still got like another 5-6 laps before they fall off the face of the earth in regards to lap time. So with the safety car, he's maybe thinking he can extend his stint out to about lap 30.
It's just, personally,
it's a risky game to be playing.
That is what I was going to say. It is not a risk I'd have liked to have taken myself. As soon as you saw that safety car, I'd have pitted for a brand new set of tyres.
Yeah.
Which everyone bar him did.
Strategically, you can be as quick as you want. There's no qualms about that. You can be as quick as you want. But if your strategy and knowing when to pit doesn't tie in with that, your overall pace won't be enough to get you through fresh tyres. It doesn't matter how quick you are on used mediums. If someone's got a fresh set on, the tyre difference is going to just completely wipe out your pace difference to them.
I just want to add as well, I've found, like, this, I did my first ever safety car restart on Friday. And if I'm honest, I found it quite difficult. Because you find that the safety car, I don't know whether it's just on this game or it's done it on previous games, it slows down mid-corner.
Yeah.
You just catch it out of nowhere.
Yeah. You'll be going around a flat-out corner, the safety car is doing like 40 and you're doing 150.
Yeah, but what I mean is, the safety car will boot it. You'll see the safety car pull away from you, and then all of a sudden, next corner, you're right there behind it. Almost caught me out a couple of times, and I feel sorry for the drivers that were behind me because they almost caught them out as well.
This is why, do you know when I did it at Spa? As soon as it come up, the safety car is going in this lap. You are like pacing the field.
Yeah,
I backed everybody up. From
you'll know from the race on Friday. I asked you and Dan for advice because it's the first time I've been in that position. I've never been P1 when a safety car's come out.
So from Blanchimont onwards at Spa, which is the kink in the back straight leading up to the bus stop, I slowed right down, let the safety car disappear, and I didn't actually boot it until I came out of the bus stop and could see that the safety car was already in the pit lane.
I was just going to say, it looks like a Guitar Maniac knows what he's doing here.
And we've just lost the Red Bull. One of the Red Bulls has just dropped it in the final corner.
We're back green, we're back racing again. Oh, that's a move up the inside, it looked like, from Huntsman. I think he's collected him. I think Huntsman's gone. Huntsman tried to move from up the inside of Paranoid into turn 1. Looks like he might have collected him and hit the wall. Guitar Maniac with a brilliant start after the VSC, as Paranoid's just lost it as well.
Right, we need to stop commentating. Just the rest of this, we just need to shut up.
Yeah, Curse of the Commentators live with me and Kieran, so I'm going to be on... I don't want to say it. I'm on board with Charlie at the moment, who's obviously on a fresh set of softs. It looks like he's putting moves in. Not putting moves in, but gaining pace on us, so...
Yeah, he's just about to send it. Actually, when was the last time we saw two Haskars this high up the field? In real life, or
never.
In any given race.
He might have him here. There you go. No DRS. He's done it without. Move up the inside into turn 1. Solid move from Charlie there.
This is exactly what I meant by... this is exactly what I meant by having someone like Charlie in the field, even as a reserve. That overtaking manoeuvre he did, that will help build the repertoire of other drivers. Seeing it performed on them.
We'll jump on board with Sam Madsen here, who's still on worn tyres, but he's gaining on... Oh, Guitar Maniac spinned it. I've just seen Charlie jump up into P2 and I weren't on pause.
Yep, Guitar Maniac's had a moment on those tyres. He does need to come in.
He needs to pit. We were saying this before, you know, that he missed an opportunity under that safety car, and he's just been passed now by a Williams. Oh, very close to an Alpha.
Yeah, he's
held up Mage there.
Who's got Ninja on his gearbox.
I think he might have damage. Oh, we've just lost Warrior Huntsman on the last corner.
Oh,
He's out.
There's a big crash there, and yet he opened his ERS a little bit. If you open your ERS as you're coming over the camber, as it starts to level out, the rear left just kind of bottoms out a little bit and you lose that little bit of grip.
On board with Kane Lowry as he fights Ninja through turn 3 there. Looks like Ninja went for the outside line as Kane Lowry took the inside. Paired off for Ninja up to P7.
Turn 3 is actually a great place to overtake around here. If you can get alongside into the braking zone and force the guy that is on the outside to take the highest of high lines around there.
Yeah, we've got a bit of a DRS train here, but it looks like Osso's also close to Charlie now, 6 tenths away.
As Charlie's actually got DRS because he's lapping a car. Sociopath's just set the fastest lap of the race. We've got Richie, by the looks of it, in sector 2. Yep. Richie's just straight out not having a good time. This track is a pain if you're not used to it or you can't get to grips with it.
You have a mistake early on and it comes back to bite you again and again. Like there's no avoiding it. Like you said, with it being such a short track, you can be lapped quite easily, and it's a mentality thing. Once you get lapped, you know, nobody likes to see it. It's not a nice feeling, and when it happens to you, you know, your head goes, and then it's just another mistake, and it's a hard track to race.
But at this rate, even though he's not had the race he wants, but he's kept with it so far, and he still can pick up 2 points.
That's it exactly. And that's the thing with this game. Oh, Mage. Has Mage binned it? Yeah, he has. I was on board with Kane Lowry, Mage were just behind him, but I actually missed what happened to him.
It looked like dirty air through the final bit of the chicane, and he's just run out wide and like caught the curb.
Ninjas flew up the inside of Madsen into turn 1. Good move, kept it. Got Kane Lowry up next. Is he going to try and move into turn 3? No, he's going to stick behind him. Should get a good run on him here. But this is a bit of a DRS train opening up now behind Ninja.
I think Ninja now has figured out that where his pace lies.
Yeah, he's flying now. He looks like he's flying anyway.
That safety car came out at the right time for him. It meant that he could replace his front wing and not lose too many places as a result of the collision with, was it Huntsman?
Yeah.
Meant that he could not lose too many places, and then after the safety car he had fresh tyres on, and he's in that mode of what I like to refer to as full send mode.
I hope your full send mode's different to his full send mode. We've all seen yours. Paranoid's just dropped a position to Guitar Maniac, who came out on fresh softs after losing it on the Mulder tyres.
Nobody saw the absolute send I sent at my own teammate into turn 1.
Oh, Kane Lowry's just bumped the back of Sam Madsen into turn 1, spun and hit the wall. He's lost his end plate as well. Slammed into the wall quite hard there on the restart. Hopefully he's not picked up any floor damage though, because that'll make a bad day even worse. Oh, there you go. He's at the wall again. Yeah, this day's gone from bad to worse for Kane Lowry.
I'm just looking through the ERS usage. King of the Hills is in a very good place with 8 laps to go. He's got 90% ERS.
Yeah, I've just jumped on board with him now because that's the closest battle on track at the moment, being 0.3 behind Sam Madsen. Obviously, Sam Madsen was involved with that with Kane Lowry. Hopefully, he's got away without much damage.
And Sam Madsen, this is his debut, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. You know, solid performance, and he's still. Bear in mind,
P15 to P6.
Still on 23 lap old mediums here, where everyone else is on new tyres.
Sam has actually stopped, and he's now 24 laps old, but he's still going strong on them mediums.
I know he stopped. I'm just saying, under the safety car, when everyone else stopped, he didn't. He stayed out.
Yeah, holding his own. Fair enough to him. He's got Ninja and Richie ahead of him. Ninja's gonna be having a bite at Richie anytime soon.
I'm just on board with King of the Hills to see if he's, because it looks like Sam Madson's harvesting ERS now. Yeah, he's got 16%, whereas King of the Hills has still got around 90% left.
Yeah.
Ninja's just spun.
Ninja's gone.
Oh. Again, because of the commentator strikes, as we're telling him how well he's doing. I don't think me and you were allowed to do comms again.
I'll be off next week as I am working next week, so somebody will have to fill in for me. I know Dan's back from work, so it'll be him and another guest next week, as we're taking it in turns to rotate it between us if one of us working on the Sunday and the other one's off. So there will be familiar voices throughout this season for Championship 3. Like, this is the second time you have done it. Josh has done it once. Me and Dan have done it a couple of times. Me and Adam have done it a few times.
You've had Avalanche in there. You know, maybe one day we'll get Charlie in doing comms as well.
Yeah. So, we're all, like, taking the load when it comes to doing comms. And it's nice to see the fact that me and Dan can step away for a day due to work and know that everything will be handled.
There you go. We've just had a comment from... Oh,
Sam's
sorry.
Just dropped it.
Oh, what a shame. Another driver we're talking highly of.
I think that's because his tyres are gone.
Yeah, 25 laps on them tyres is a lot. If he can recover from there, you know, he's got Guitar Maniac behind him flying on them soft tyres, new softs, and Paranoid on new mediums. He's going to be lucky to get probably P11, maybe P12 if Ken Lowry's flying on them.
Past Richie.
I was on board for that, but looking at the timing screens...
made the move into turn 1.
It's the classic move, and it's one of the only places you can really pass on the track, to be honest.
Yeah, that is...
As Richie had an incident, because Richie's dropping back.
Richie dropped it coming out of turn 2. I think he clipped the curb and just went round. That is a hideous camera angle. That Williams steering wheel and screen just... Why are they stuck in 2009? It's hideous, the interior of that Williams.
So you got a yellow into sector 2.
Oh, that's a
King of the Hill's just gone past. I don't know. I didn't see who it was.
Ooh, no, that went wrong so quickly. Sam sent a move on Richie, going, do you know the double right-hander before the hairpin?
I'll tell you what, I've just got a helicopter shot of Maged flying around the last 3 corners, and I want to say that is a beautiful shot.
Yeah.
That was lovely, that helicopter camera there. How do I get that back?
Yeah, I am a big fan of the helicopter cam. I wished it was actually a camera option.
Yeah, definitely. That looked good going through the last 3 corners there.
But yeah, Sam and Richie came together just before, like, on the exit of the right-hander before the hairpin. He had the move done and then ran out wide, got on the grass, and as he came round, just collected Richie, unfortunately, and put him in the barrier.
We've got Sam Madsen, Guitar Maniac, and it was a lapped Aston Martin, I believe. Which might have been Aidan Gray. Aidan Gray, yeah. It looked like Aidan Gray was... Well, I wouldn't have been comfortable driving out of turn 3 with a ghosted car half in me, if I'm honest. Especially not when you've got a flying Guitar Maniac behind you.
Who's just made the move into the chicane.
Yeah, beautiful move.
It's like everybody watched Sergio Perez today.
he's doing him proud in that Red Bull.
Actually,
told you, no spoilers. No comments on the real race.
Yeah, it's been relatively penalty-free, like on track limit penalties anyway.
Charlie's just pitted again.
Yeah. So
brand new set of softs. He's gone from P2 to P7.
Yeah, Charlie, don't be out here taking the fastest lap.
I've got Paranoid
but,
coming up to the back of Sam Madsen as well here.
yeah, can we take a moment to just refer back to the YouTube comments, as we did start to talk about it to then get distracted.
Yeah, I did try to say that Osso going to finish his first race after 3 DNFs. Now, the reason I was going to bring that up is because I feel that pain.
Same.
I've done 9 races on this game and finished 3. Like, it's not good. It's hard.
Right.
But
I had 2 DNFs in a row.
Yeah.
Which wasn't great, especially after podium in round 1, nothing in round 2 and 3. And then got a decent, well, I had a somewhat okay result last week in Spa for round 4, and then grabbed my second podium of the season this week, as Aidan Grace just taking the fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, that is a solid lap, that.
Which...
A solid race lap, anyway.
Yeah, Free's efforts, though, as he's outside the top 10, he won't get that extra championship point. But it does mean it's taken away from someone else.
In the top 10,
which is almost as good.
That's it. I'm still watching this battle with Paranoid. He's all over the back of Sam Madsen now. Obviously, Sam's still stared out on these 29 lap all mediums, which is... He had to commit to it. You know, there was no way he could pit. Oh,
that's Kane Lowry gone.
Turn 3 DNF.
Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna go with he hit the curb at turn 2, and it's just ejected the car.
Oh, I've got the helicopter shot as Paranoid's going round the outside of Sam Madsen. I tell you, that camera shot's beautiful.
Yeah, that is...
Ninja that's also binned it, and I've caught that. He's past Ninja.
Yeah, helicopter shot of this final couple of corners. Oh, that is epic. The Cody's have messed up on one thing, though. The sea of orange everywhere.
Yeah, we're missing orange smoke flying across the track.
Yeah, there was also there's another yellow flag, and that's Aidan Gray this time. Richie is actually looking at picking up a handful of points just by keep going. Like, he's just kept at it regardless of where he's been. He's had a very lonely race.
Yeah, he's been a lap down for most of the race, but he was a lap down in P15. He's currently a lap down in P11, which is still a decent point haulage.
Richie 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm on about.
My apologies. I was talking Richie D.
Who's down in P14, but Kane Lowry is out, so he will be moved up into P13, which is what, 4 points? Or is it still 3? Or is it 3 points?
I believe it's free. I believe it's free. You asked me, and I knew the pressure was on there. Right, we're coming into the last lap now. Let's. Oh, one of the Mercs has just binned it. Mage has binned it at turn 1. Guitar Maniac and Charlie in Japan have just both got past him.
Let's see how he's getting. Right, so Barkwandu, after a great P5 on Friday, where he turned up to reserve, he's bettered that result today with a P4.
Yeah, I think my standout driver today is also up into P2. Brilliant drive. Absolutely brilliant.
When it comes to the driver of the day conversation, which we will have to have in a moment, Sociopath does cross the line as the race winner.
Does a nice little weave, put a bit of extra temperature in them tyres.
Yeah. As much as I would like to say Arso does deserve it, but the fact that Richie 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 has kept clocking away after the race he's had does show commitment, and I'm gonna say it, I'm proud of him for actually sticking with it.
I agree with you. I appreciate his commitment to stick with it, but the driver of the day there for me is also hands down.
Yeah, hands down.
Hands down.
Richie just deserved like a little bit of praise for what he's done. He's kept with it and made sure
I've just popped up the position changes. So we've got Osso up 12 places into P2. We've got Sociopath up 6 places into P1. King of the Hills up 5 into P3. Sam Madsen on his debut race up 7 places into P8. Richie D up 7 places into P10. Aidan Gray up 6 into 12. Obviously, he had a bad quali. Had a few connection issues as well during the race, which haven't helped.
Charlie is in low fuel mode, by the way.
Yeah, I've noticed him pottering around.
So he's dropped all the way down into P11.
And Richie 567 was up 5 places.
Yeah. So, a couple of... Yeah.
I know you go. We knew that were coming.
Also with a great drive. That will help his championship bid to actually get off the ground.
Definitely. As you say, it's been a hard start for him this season. I think it's been a hard start for a lot of drivers, but he's one who were definitely solid last season. Who's now got his foot in. He's got his foot in the door, and he's on his way now in season 2.
Yeah, this is exactly it. He's managed to, by the looks of it, he's managed to get his head around the handling model after a couple of unsuccessful attempts, and has just kept going now. Hopefully he keeps it up. Same with everybody here in Championship 3, as it is a place to develop your skills and get to grips with certain things that you wouldn't normally be okay with compared to everybody else. And we have seen it that people have come in, got to grips with it very quickly, and then progressed through the other championships.
I would just like to add as well, as Osso's pointed out in the comments, that was his home race. A brilliant P2 in his home race. Well done, mate. Well done. Well deserved. So the final standings, we've got Sociopath P1, Osso P2, King of the Hills P3, Bartmandu P5, and I've not got enough time to go through the rest of them.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's... I think we only finished with 13 runners, so even if you couldn't scroll down to who DNF'd and whatever...
It was on the screen. It was on the screen. We had it on the screen.
So we'll end the stream there, guys. Thank you for tuning in this week. Same place, same time, next Sunday.